Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chandler Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Vikings send out their punter as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Harris now to return. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract now. There for the return, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Here we go. It's 60 or 56. So don't say nothing. Protein spell. 26. He's coming. Double up. Go.
On first down, it's Palmer. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
5. 56 to Mike. Now. Check 56.
Here's Palmer to throw. This one into the hands of Hurd.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mike 56. Hey, high 7. Mike 56. Mike 56. Hey, defense. Hey, defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Palmer. And he's got his target. That's more. A gain of 22.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out.
Rock it.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Orbit. Hey. 56.
Palmer now. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. He's coming. Topper. Hey, alert 3.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Gay's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Here we go. Hatchet. Sit. Go. You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And off the deflection, it's caught. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready? Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end. 4 down. 51 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
2nd and 11. Johnson's got it complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
218, chop. Hey, exit. 56 is the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
To throw is Palmer. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Ready?
On 3rd down, Palmer. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Hey, 4 down.
They're going to look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Palmer. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
And the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, Palmer. Open man is Samuel, complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's caught by Howard. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Check, 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 check.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Well, he's going to go for it all. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, That answer is 1, and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Yep. Defense, outside. Look at me. Door, shoot.
To throw again, Palmer. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 36-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Just like that. Check. Press.
2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Silver. Quick dash. Come. Go. Mike, spot 4, Mike. Hard. Deep dribble.
So after the interception, here's Palmer. He's going to look deep and he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. DJ Moore in the final seconds of the first half. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off off with a pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Ready, break. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Here we go.
To throw on 3rd down, Palmer. And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he fields it cleanly. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
First and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing now. Palmer on 1st down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He's got the first down inside the 10, and finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Here we go, set, 60 or. Right, 54. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On second down, Swift. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
56 the mark, boys, 56. Check it.
On first and 10, it's Palmer. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Here now is second and 10, again for the 41. Here's Palmer. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop any...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his target. It's Evans. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. They can't hang with us. Mike 27. Mike 27. Danny.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He completes it to Evans. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready. Check Mike 27. Here we go. Watch twist. Go. Mike 27.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
56. Check 56. Hey!
On 1st down, it's Palmer. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Palmer will throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd down, Swift, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. They run again on first down, Chubb. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the Bengals 48-yard line.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll drop the throw. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a third down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Check 52.
Back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27. Come on. You better bring it.
2nd and 15. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. It's our field.
They'll set up to throw. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gator. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. 6'6". Pull it high. Leo.
Now Palmer on 3rd and long. He's going to look deep for more. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
2nd and 11. And he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Mike 27, Mike 27. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, it's Moss, complete. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
That's it. 51 to Mike, boy, 51. All day, every day, any day. So Mike 51.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught by Evans. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. David Montgomery, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 15.
Makes the score Bengals 24, Vikings 9. Chris Boswell set to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Let's go.
Their own 9-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
Right there.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.